descriptive designation for an anomalous population of fruits and vegetables. SCP-2941 only superficially resembles their non-anomalous counterparts and differ from non-anomalous fruits and vegetables in both behavior and growth patterns. SCP-2941 instances possess limited sensory awareness, are capable of locomotion, and furthermore, some have shown the ability to speak, though how SCP-2941 instances manage to vocalize is currently unknown. Under optimal containment conditions, the physical size of each instance of SCP-2941 conforms to the average size of comparable specimens in its particular species. However, rapid growth will occur when any instance of SCP-2941 is presented with verbal or physical affection, as well as any other kind of positive reinforcement. Instances will also exhibit this property when engaging in pleasurable activities. No upper bound of SCP-2941's enlargement has been shown through on-site testing and by Foundation computer modeling. Proper demoralization must be maintained on a regular basis, as any instance left alone for a period of between 3 to 5 hours will be growing at a noticeable rate. Foundation researchers have hypothesized that each instance of SCP-2941 has an innate, highly positive self-image that must be countered at all times. A few examples of the currently contained SCP-2941 are as follows. SCP-2941-1 is a red apple that pleasured itself by rolling around in a circular path with its containment cell until researchers were able to convince SCP-2941-1 that any movement at all will awaken a massive parasitic worm living inside of it. SCP-2941-3 is a melon and is very quickly to notice nearby individuals and will repeatedly vocalize questions regarding the quality of its roundness. To minimize misunderstanding on SCP-2941-3's part, researchers must be sure to always respond to each query with the statement, "You are a hideous cube." SCP-2941-11 is an eggplant. As long as SCP-2941-11 has been under the Foundation's care, it has repeatedly vocalized only one sentence with variation. "Hoo boo, I love you." -11's morale has, through much experimentation, shown to decrease the most when addressed with the carefully enunciated response, "You should be hurled into the trash." SCP-2941 entities appear as a fennel, banana, green pepper, Persian lime, turnip, mushrooms, peach, and cantaloupe. All known instances of SCP-2941 are kept within separate and fully isolated biocontainment chambers within Site-103. Instances are provided with 4 to 6 hours of direct light from an overhead fluorescent. Each instance of SCP-2941 are checked at least 4 times a day to confirm that specimen morale levels fall within mandated guidelines. Any measurements of specimen morale levels falling above standard containment parameters are reported immediately to the current project head.
SCP-971, Object Class Safe. SCP-971 is an old and worn delivery menu printed on a standard sheet of 21.6 cm by 28 cm printer paper. The name of the delivery service is listed as Quick and Ready Meals. No records of such business exist, and the parent company named on the menu denies ownership of said food delivery service. The menu lists the company name, a phone number, 1-800, and several different food items, each preceded by an item code. The food items are typical fast food items, including hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, chicken fingers, assorted seasoned fries, and carbonated beverages. The menu features no pictures or price of the food, and the typeface and design are both minimal and simplistic. When holding SCP-971 and calling the phone number listed, the caller will be sent to an automated menu system. The automated menu will prompt the caller to input the item codes for the food they desire, and then for their credit card number to pay for the order. Once the item codes and credit card number are input, the automated system will tell the caller the total price, thank them, and then disconnect the call. The caller's credit card will be immediately charged for the total price of the order, plus the local tax rate for prepared food. Once the call disconnects, about 15 or 20 minutes will pass. Afterwards, a paper bag with Quick and Ready Meals logo will appear near the caller. SCP-9711 almost always appears when all potential observers' attention in the vicinity is diverted elsewhere. Remote video observation of SCP-9711's appearance has been reasonably successful, as it simply appears instantaneously with no visual indication of its method of delivery. SCP-9711 will contain the same items chosen in the phone menu, and all the items will be cooked and prepared to normal food safety and inspection service health standards. Aside from the method of delivery, the only other anomalous feature of the food delivered is the undefinable meat used for the listed burgers, sandwiches, and other meat-containing items. The meat used in the food is from assorted animals on the EEC Endangered Species list. Further DNA testing on the meat, as well as reports of sudden weight loss and muscle mass loss in animals from several zoos, confirms meat from pandas, cheetahs, red wolves, sand cats, and other species recognized as endangered. Currently, all meat tested from meals that SCP-971 provides are from animals that are commonly known endangered species to the general public. The food does not seem to cause any compulsion to eat it, nor does eating the endangered animal fast food meals cause any overt physical harm to the subjects eating it. Occasionally, other copies of SCP-971 are found outside of Foundation control. Scanned and printed copies of SCP-971 have the same abnormal properties of the original. These copies are to be confiscated and destroyed. Due to the lack of memetic effects or mobility from SCP-971, this SCP is considered safe and requires only minimal containment procedures. SCP-971 is kept in its labeled file folder and locked in the file cabinet 26 in Site-19's file vault when not being used for testing. Keys to both the file vault and file cabinet 26 are held by on-site senior administrative members, and access to SCP-971 for testing is allowed only with explicit written permission from Level 4 personnel or higher.
SCP-1354. Object Class: Safe. SCP-1354 is the collective designation for 12, 11, 250 milliliter volumes of soup stock designated SCP-1354-1 through -11. Despite their age, instances of SCP-1354 show no signs of spoilage and have in fact proven edible. Additionally, instances of SCP-1354 are exothermic and maintain a constant temperature of 37 degrees Celsius and have shown no signs of evaporation. Instances of SCP-1354 are capable of written responses to verbal communication via the manifestation of letter-shaped pasta. Unless otherwise prompted, responses will remain on the surface of SCP-1354 for 3 to 4 minutes before submerging and vanishing. For interview purposes, instances of SCP-1354 are to remain intact. Each instance of SCP-1354 appears to contain the consciousness from one of several dozen individuals reported missing from Oregon between the dates of the 4th of July, 19... and the 2nd of October, 20. All missing individuals corresponding to instances of SCP-1354 share several characteristics, most notably age and status as the head of a single-parent household. The whereabouts of the children of SCP-1354 instances, as well as additional missing persons believed to correspond to uncontained instances, remain unknown. SCP-1354 was brought to the Foundation's attention after persistent rumors of a talking soup began circulating in the local homeless shelters and soup kitchens. Further investigation led to the procurement of this instance, as well as further 11 instances of SCP-1354 being obtained during a recent canned food drive. Class B amnestics were given to all witnesses.
SCP-261. Object Class: Safe. SCP-261 appears to be a large black vending machine with no front glass panel and a small keypad on the right side. Internally, SCP-261 appears to be a basic vending machine equipped to vend food and beverage items. After a key was made and the front door opened, no abnormal materials were found, and it was determined that SCP-261 has never actually contained any food or beverage items. The keypad, while connected and operating correctly, does not activate any of the dispensing mechanisms. When money is placed into SCP-261 and a 3-digit number is entered on the keypad, SCP-261 will vend a random item. SCP-261 has not accepted any currency other than yen, with rejected currency being deposited in the coin return slot. It's unknown how these items appear. However, SCP-261 will not operate when the door is open or when recording devices are placed inside. The number entered on the keypad has no effect on the item vended, nor has any pattern been detected. Items are always some form of snack food and typically have bright, attention-grabbing packaging. SCP-261 is capable of operating with no external power supply, but operation in this state will cause unstable vending to occur much more quickly than normal. If SCP-261 is used several times in a short period of time, or large amounts of money are entered before an item is vended, SCP-261 will start to dispense bizarre items in unknown languages. While still food, their suitability for human consumption is often non-existent. Items dispensed by SCP-261 are reviewed by site health and safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation from any obligation regarding negative effects. Items deemed dangerous or useful to research are confiscated by site security, with financial compensation provided in proportion to money spent. Any access to SCP-261 is approved by staff with Level 2 security clearance or higher. Any and all items dispensed by SCP-261 are recorded along with the amount of money entered and the amount of time elapsed between uses. Currently, SCP-261 is used only 10 times in a 24-hour period, with no transaction exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. Testing approved by Site Command is not under these restrictions. SCP-261 was recovered in Yokohama, Japan. SCP-261 was brought to the Foundation's attention after investigating an urban legend about a magic vending machine that was circulating on the internet. SCP-261 was found in a back alley behind a large shopping center, with a handwritten sign saying, "Out of order," in Japanese taped to it. SCP-261 has no marks or identification of any kind, and no locals remember when or how it came to be in its current location.
SCP-348 Object Class Safe. SCP-348 is a white ceramic bowl, patterned with light blue flowers, measuring approximately 20 centimeters in diameter and 9 centimeters high. While no maker's marks are present, the Chinese characters for thinking of you, Zheng Ji Ni, are etched into the side of the bowl. While in the presence of an individual afflicted with a minor ailment or injury, SCP-348 will fill with soup. While the ingredients present within the soup produced by SCP-348 vary, young subjects have consistently stated that they enjoyed the meal, sometimes stating that it reminds them of their parents' cooking. Children who eat from SCP-348 several times often express a feeling of contentment, stating that, though they are eating by themselves, they do not feel lonely. It has been noted that occasionally, after soup produced by SCP-348 has been consumed, a message will materialize on the inside of the bowl. Words produced on the inside of the bowl appear to be printed on the ceramic consistent with existing markings. The message that appears will be in the language most familiar to the drinker of the soup. After several hours, the words disappear. SCP-348 was acquired shortly after rumors of a child living in Beijing, apparently possessing remarkable recovering abilities, came to the Foundation's attention. Investigation revealed that the child in question originally discovered SCP-348 in the attic of their house, and had come to rely on it after receiving insufficient attention from their parents. The child's parents, both full-time workers, refused to comment on the relationship with the child. Testing has revealed that in the event that someone older than 18 years of age attempts to consume soup created by SCP-348, the individual will find that they are less inclined to finish the meal. Some such individuals will remark that something is missing. Most will simply state that the soup was nothing out of the ordinary. Further studies carried out with older subjects indicate that though messages will appear for individuals older than 18, the appearance of the message is worn and faded. SCP-348 is kept in a standard locker at Site-19. SCP-1794 Object Class Safe. SCP-1794 is a giant sapient grapefruit, capable of speech, hearing, and sight by unknown means. SCP-1794 has been in Foundation care for years and shows no signs of decomposition. Psychoanalysis during interviews has revealed that SCP-1794 suffers from dissociative identity disorder and acmeophobia. Known identities of SCP-1794, which resemble historic social activists and revolutionaries, have been classified as Activist Preacher, SCP-1794-A, and Oppressed Freethinker, SCP-1794-B. Identities SCP-1794-A and SCP-1794-B acknowledge that they are fruit and believe they act for the good of fruit kind. Following one of the previous events, a personality classified as Latin American Revolutionary has been observed and documented as SCP-1794-C. SCP-1794 is kept in a large containment tank at site. The surrounding area is fitted with speakers and an intercom. SCP-1794 can request audio media such as music or literature to be played over the speakers. However, all requests are to be approved by Level 2 personnel. SCP-1794 can request to hold a conversation either in person or over the intercom. All requests are to be approved by Level 2 personnel. It's recommended that SCP-1794 should not be allowed contact with fruit. SCP-1794 was discovered in 1956 when Mrs. of Santa Modesta contacted authorities, claiming that her breakfast was planning an uprising. Foundation agents successfully retrieved SCP-1794 and transported it to the SCP Foundation. Mrs. was administered Class C amnesiacs and returned to her home. Since its capture in 1956, SCP-1794 has grown in size and intelligence. Research is still underway.
SCP-109 Object Class Euclid. SCP-109 is a standard-issue United States Army canteen, circa 1899, made of a tin alloy and fitted with a heavy cotton cover and a black leather strap. When opened, the item is seen to be nearly full of water. A seemingly unlimited amount of water can be removed from the container without changing the water level or the item's mass, which remains a consistent 3.16 kilograms. Probes of the interior of the container reported an estimated volume of 2.8 liters and a shape consistent with the outside. The water in SCP-109 is of a slight blue-grey tint, with concentrations of 20 ppm of tin and 170 ppm of other electrolytes. The water remains at a constant temperature of 19 Celsius, but can be heated or cooled when moved to another container. Upon the item's delivery at Site-19, it was given the object class of Safe. As tests were conducted on the item, uncertainty surrounding test results prompted Research Director to upgrade the object class to Euclid. Subjects imbibed water from SCP-109 and reported that it was very refreshing and, despite the metal content, very tasty. Urine samples from subjects were normal. Water from SCP-109 was administered to various plant organisms, all of which remained very healthy and showed no malign symptoms. One proposition for a test, which has been discussed for some time, has been involving a combination of SCP-109 and SCP-402. Due to the risk of losing one or both items or creating a hazardous situation, this test has never been conducted.